Welcome back, dannphan crew. Let's get into episode 3 and what exactly goes down. The episode where Usopp, another crew member, is introduced. Now, do they do Usopp's arc well? Is the question on many people's minds right now. This is actually part 1 in a 2-parter for Usopp's arc, as well as there's a lot of other background stories that they keep you updated on as the episodes go on. So we start off the episode with Usopp doing his thing when it comes to yelling at all the townsfolk that pirates are attacking, which of course is a lie. Yes, that's kind of Usopp's thing. Is that he just lies about pirates arriving on the island when there are none. And obviously there's some sort of traumatic reason behind why he does this. They kind of leave out the Usopp crew from the Netflix series. So if you were expecting to see him followed by a gang of kids who worship him, you're not gonna get that. Which, you know, I feel like they could have had maybe some side scene of like kids looking up to him, but it doesn't matter. It's not like pivotal to the plot, so they just kind of left it out. And I get it, they're trying to condense. They're really trying to condense the One Piece story as much as possible, but if you would like to know more about Usopp and see a more detailed version of this arc, definitely go check out the original series. Moving on, we get back to the Straw Hat crew, and Nami finds out that they're taking on water, which has unfortunately caused her ever so cute snail phone to die. Rest in peace, cute earbud snail phone. I really liked that addition, and now it's dead. Cool. Thanks, Netflix. But yeah, so this has cut off her communication with with her unknown boss. She informs Luffy, hey, we're taking on water, we're gonna have to ditch this boat, we need a new ship, which of course Luffy is very excited about. So they go to an island where they believe that they can get one. And then we get back to Buggy, who is putting himself back together, quite literally. He gets approached by one of Arlong's men, who is a little bit upsetty spaghetti with him. Obviously, Buggy loses the fight against him, and we find out as the episode goes on that Arlong is upset with Buggy for pillaging or pirating on his turf? I don't know. Were they actually on an island that was close to Nami's home island? That kind of doesn't make any sense. if that's actually what they want me to believe, then that kind of doesn't make any sense. It's like if Nami was close to her home island, why wouldn't she just go there? Why are we going this opposite direction? Whatever. And then Buggy's like, no, you shouldn't be mad at me. You should be mad at Straw Hat, because he took the map. Now some of you might mention, well, wait, didn't Nami, tell Arlong via the phone that she had the map? Why is he now going after Luffy? To some extent, maybe I get it, because now she has her communication cut off from Arlong, so maybe he thinks that she lost the map to Luffy. And anyway, he decides, oh yeah, sure, I'll go after Luffy, whatever. And then Buggy's like, I can help you find Luffy, because I have eyes and ears everywhere. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Getting back to them on the island, they are looking around at the ships, and Nami is saying, yeah, we're gonna have to steal a ship. And Luffy is like, no! Stealing? Pirates shouldn't steal? What? It's a little bit weird. I'll admit that, yeah. So Luffy takes an anti-stealing approach. And in general, this episode just kind of rears into the direction of don't steal, kids. Good pirates don't steal. Obviously, this is not really Luffy's character. Yeah, they're pirates. Part of the ongoing running gag in One Piece is that Luffy always plans to steal from the islands that he helps, but because he helps them and befriends them all, they always just give him treasure. so he never has to steal it. That's kind of the joke. But they seem to be going in a slightly different direction in the Netflix version, where this whole episode kinda is leaning towards stealing bad. Anyway, so then Luffy finds the Going Merry, instantly in love with it, as you can imagine, and Usopp's on the ship. So, the start of a beautiful friendship. Luffy wants Usopp to sell him the ship, but he's like, I don't really own this ship, but I know the girl who does, and I bet she'd sell it to you. And he's like, okay, cool, let's go meet her. And obviously the friend is Kaya. In the meantime, we also get these scenes of Garp and Koby kind of bonding. The point of this scene with Garp and Koby is that he's trying to teach him to be more aggressive in order to become a better Marine. And it's a nice scene. I really like these scenes of Garp and Koby bonding. It's cool. It has nothing to do with what's going on, really, but awesome. The Straw Hat crew arrive at Kaya's place. We get to meet Kaya and, of course, her butler, Kuro, who is as suspicious as I remember him. She invites them all to stay for dinner, as it is her birthday, a big special event. She's turning like 18, right? She's turning of age to finally be able to manage her family business now. Kuro doesn't want them to come for dinner or stay over at first, but then he decides, yeah, you know what? So long as you silly ruffians dress up nicely for dinner, you can come along. We get a good scene of Usopp and Kaya bonding. I gotta say, I kinda didn't like Usopp when he was first introduced in the anime. I kinda thought he was a little bit annoying and weird. I'm sure many other people maybe felt the same way, but Usopp in the live action has a little something that makes his character work a lot better. And I think a lot of it is thanks to the actor playing him, actually. Because I think he pulls off this character as being much more charming. And I think that extra level of charm kind of makes up for the flaws that Usopp has. Obviously, Usopp has skills as well, despite being a coward and a liar. He's actually a very good sniper. I also like it if he's charming. It makes a lot more sense why he would have befriended Kaya. We get a cute scene of him bonding and having fun with Kaya, until, of course, she goes into a coughing fit and needs her bright blue, totally not poisoned tea. Nothing to see here, folks. Her sickness is because, yes, the butlers are poisoning her. I don't really see the need to make everything that's poisoned bright blue. I'm not stupid. I will understand that something is poisoned if you just say that it's poisoned. I understand that you can't always visually tell when something's poisoned. You don't have to make it extra bright Gatorade blue. A little over the top. Meanwhile, they're all getting dressed up for dinner. Luffy and Nami make a bet. Luffy says that he can convince Kaya to just give them the ship, and if he can't, then they'll just steal the ship. I guess that's kind of a bet. Afterwards, we have a scene with Kuro and Kaya where he, goes on this nice little rant about how much he loves her and how it's been so great to serve her all this time as her butler. She's like, "Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thanks for the blue Gatorade tea." So they do have a scene similar to this in the original, right? There's a little bit of a preface to it. In the original anime, from what I remember, this was after he, banned Usopp from ever returning to the mansion. Then he has a scene with Kaya where he's, genuinely sorry that he hurt her feelings, and it's his way of apologizing to her for him saying, "I only do this because I care about you so much," and he's, crying. And then we have this nice little scene of them together. But for this scene in the live action version, it just seems forced. It just seems like he's saying all this for no real reason. I don't know. Maybe if they had it paired with him giving her a gift or something, it would have been a little bit more understandable for him to go on this rant about how much he loves her and stuff. On its own, it just kind of seems like they're overplaying how much he cares about Kaya because of the plot twist. We already know that he's evil. But it doesn't come off as much of a betrayal when we find out that he's evil, because it's just kind of a scene forced in there and you get the idea in your head, oh, they're doing this for a reason. Moving on, they're making bright blue poison soup for Kaya. Should I even mention that one of the henchmen of Kuro's is gender swapped? Not all the henchmen of Kuro's is even present in the live action version. But yes, one of them is now a girl, and honestly, of all the swaps that we get in the Netflix series, that is not the most offensive. I kinda don't care about this one. Call me crazy, but I think the outfit and the design kind of just fits on a girl. So now it's time for the dinner party. Woohoo! And Zoro is kind of has an aside with Kuro, in which he is thinking that he recognizes him. And some of you might be thinking, oh well, why wouldn't Zoro recognize him? He's a pirate hunter. He should know all the pirates wanted posters. I think in the original it did kind of make sense that Zoro wouldn't have recognized him, just because Kuro is thought to be dead at this point. He's been in hiding for years, right? Literally hanging out on this island raising a little girl while everyone thought he was dead. So it's not like his wanted poster is still circulating. It would make sense if Zoro had not seen his wanted poster. But in this series, they actually put Kuro's wanted poster in the safe that Nami opened. So that is kind of an explanation as to why he does recognize Kuro. And then we get down to the dinner party. Luffy makes a whole scene about how he very much wants to have Kaya give him the going merry. This causes Kuro to be enraged at Luffy being so uncouth as to ask for Kaya's things. Then Kaya kind of defends him, but this leads her into a coughing fit, and Kuro takes her back to her bedroom before she eats the poisoned blue soup. Meanwhile, getting back to Garp and Kobe, Helmeppo comes in as he has found the Straw Hat Jolly Roger that Luffy drew. Reports to Garp that they must be closing in on their location. So while Garp is heading towards the island where the Straw Hat crew is, Mary approaches Kuro and kind of just asks him, hey dude, I see in Kaya's will you kind of pressured her into leaving everything to you. What's up with that? It is a little bit of a cliche, okay? Kuro then reveals who he is, and he flies around the room at super speeds before promptly killing Mary. Yes, killing. It's a little bit different from what I remember, but Mary dead is my point. Meanwhile, in the middle of the night, Nami is going around stealing things while Luffy and the boys are hanging out in the kitchen, getting some extra grub and booze. Now, while Nami is walking around the mansion, stealing things into her little knapsack, she accidentally goes into Kaya's room. And they end up talking a little bit and befriending one another. Kaya kind of pokes fun during their conversation, like, haha, Nami, you're not really good at friendships, are you? Throughout the series in general, Nami has been kind of just apathetic, sarcastic, kind of cold. To some extent, maybe she's kind of like that, but I also distinctly remember Nami being also very charming, outgoing, and kind of sociable. Even though she had a wall that blocked her from truly making friends, she was still sociable. She was still able to charm people into kind of giving her what she wanted from them, and that's kind of plays into how she stole so much money from people that she's able to trick them. So I kind of feel like they're taking a slightly different direction by trying to hint at this idea that she's not charming or sociable at all. That's not really who Nami is. It's a little, yeah. It's you're kind of in the right ballpark, but not really. She should still be outgoing and bubbly. And who knows, maybe once we're done Nami's arc, maybe that'll have some character growth in her, and then she'll open up and start acting a little bit more bubbly. Meanwhile, Luffy and the boys chilling in the kitchen. Zoro and Usopp hear something, so go to investigate it, while Luffy, being Luffy, decides to drink the entire blue Gatorade soup that they made. Good job, Luffy. Usopp and Zoro discover Mary's body before Kuro reveals himself. They manage to knock out Zoro quite easily, I might add. A little bit disappointed in that. Usopp escapes out the window, and Kuro isn't really worried, doesn't really bother going after him, because he figures, well, because Usopp lies about pirates arriving at the island all the time, nobody will believe him. Yeah, classic boy who cried wolf situation. Meanwhile, they go to dispose of Mary and Zoro's bodies into the well, including his swords. How nice of them. Usopp goes knocking on everybody's door like, oh no, there's pirates at Kaya's mansion, they're gonna kill her. And then everyone's like, pfft. Yeah, right. Then we kind of get a brief flashback explaining that the reason why Usopp always lies about pirates coming is because he wanted his mom to feel better, and thinking that it would keep her alive if she always thought that their dad was coming home. Kind of brutal, Usopp. This scene's kind of bad. Kind of extra corny, the acting really isn't there. Once again, the child actor is just not super good, so we get the idea anyway. Then, as Usopp is having an emotional breakdown on the ground, Kobe actually steps in, saying that he believes Usopp and that he wants to help him. And that's where we end the first part of Usopp's arc. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to end it. I like that the Marines have showed up to try to help. It's nice. Good feeling. Overall, I have some things that I kind of like about the episode, things that I kind of don't like about the episode. It's obviously going in a slightly different direction from the anime went, where we're kind of staying in one spot for all the fighting. Kinda all the scenes are just happening in the mansion, which is fine, I guess. I think Usopp's a lot more charming in this version of One Piece than he is in the original. I think the betrayal of Kuro could have been done better. I think it's much stronger in the original series. The bright blue poison is just kind of kiddish, honestly. Can't get over that. I like Kobe and the Marines showing up at the end, having a little bit more of an active role in the series. Don't like Zoro super easily getting knocked out and then thrown down a well. Also, if he's knocked out, why don't they just make sure that he's dead by, like, stabbing him? Like, why do they just say, oh, he's knocked out? Good enough. It's just nonsensical, you know? Also not sure how I feel about the whole Arlong going after Luffy thing rather than Luffy going after Arlong. You know, there's some good and there's some bad and there's some questionable when it comes to this episode. What would I rate it? I think I might rate it the same as the episode before it, so maybe like a 7 out of 10. It's like not bad. It's not terrible. You know, could be better, room for improvement, but it is passable, it's serviceable, it gets the job done, and it gets the story told. That's what's important. Let me know what you guys thought about this One Piece episode in particular. If you like the direction that they go with Usopp's arc, if you like the direction they went with Kuro. Honestly, I always felt like Kuro was kind of one of those underrated, cool villains. I was expecting a little bit more, but we'll see how the fight scene goes down in the next episode and judge it as fairly as we can. But I do have a little bit higher expectations for this guy than the average One Piece villain per se. Like the video if you did enjoy, subscribe. If you'd like to see and get notified on the next episode review that does come out, check out my own comics if you haven't already. There's links in the description. Oh my god, there's probably a pinned comment if I remember to put it there, and you can go check out comics that I've written and other like shonen stuff. Yay! Check out the subscribe star, man. Join the fan club. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!